Anti-Mourinho, why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer can bring attacking football back to Manchester United. Manchester United have moved quickly to get a new manager in place, hiring club legend and fan favourite Ole Gunnar Solskjaer on a caretaker basis until the end of the season, less than 24 hours after sacking Jose Mourinho. Solskjaer has left his post as the manager of Norwegian club Molde in order to take charge at Old Trafford, and he will be assisted by Sir Alex Ferguson's former No.2 Mike Phelan as well as Michael Carrick and Kieran McKenna, who were both members of Mourinho's backroom team. After the news was announced, Solskjaer said, "Manchester United is in my heart and it's brilliant to be coming back in this role. I'm really looking forward to working with the very talented squad we have, the staff and everyone at the club. Join us in welcoming Ole back to #mufk. pic.twitter.com/kctgw62y4m, Manchester United, at Manut, December 19, 2018. Ole is a club legend with huge experience, both on the pitch and in coaching roles, Ed Woodward, United's executive vice chairman, said. We are confident they will unite the players and the fans as we head into the second half of the season. It is certainly a left-field appointment from United and one that has seen them move away from their recent model of hiring high-profile coaches, but how will Solskjaer manage on his return to Old Trafford, and what can the club's supporters expect? What's his background? As a player, Solskjaer turned out for Norwegian and Molde in Norway prior to making the switch to United in 1996 in a bargain £1.5 million move. Sir Alex Ferguson certainly got his money worth out of Solskjaer, with the Norwegian scoring 126 goals and 366 appearances for the club during an 11-year stay, the most memorable of which was, of course, the injury time winner against Bayern Munich in the 1999 Champions League final. Solskjaer ended up with 6 Premier League medals, 2 FA Cups and a Champions League by the time he retired in 2007. Then 34 years old, Solskjaer's playing career was ended prematurely due to a knee injury, but he took his first steps in coaching soon after. After informing Ferguson that he would be retiring, Solskjaer recalled his manager saying to him, "You can become one of my coaches. Take time off first but then become my forward coach." Solskjaer impressed sufficiently in that role to earn a promotion as United's reserve team manager in 2008, and he held that post for 3 years. During that time, he won 4 trophies including the reserve Premier League title in 2010. Following his success with United's reserves, Solskjaer was given the top job by another of his former clubs, Molde, in 2011. Despite never winning the Norwegian top flight in their history, Solskjaer steered Molde to 2 successive titles in 2011 and 2012, with the first arriving fittingly during the club's centenary year. A Norwegian Cup followed in 2013 before Solskjaer was headhunted by Cardiff as the man to keep them in the Premier League in January 2014. It was at that point that he suffered his first setback in coaching, as the Bluebirds were relegated after finishing 6 points adrift in 20th. A few months later, he was sacked. Solskjaer then spent time managing Norwegian's youth team, thus completing a hat-trick of working for the clubs he represented as a player, before returning to Molde as manager in 2015. Although he was unable to add further silverware during his second stint in charge, Solskjaer oversaw memorable wins over Fenerbahce, Celtic and Sevilla in the Europa League. Why have Manchester United appointed him? The second part of Woodward's statement was rather telling, as he said that Solskjaer would unite the players and the fans as we head into the second half of the season. Woodward's last 2 managerial appointments have seen him acquire authoritarian managers in Louis van Gaal and Mourinho, both of whom are single-minded in their approaches. Van Gaal and Mourinho both won trophies with United, but the former never managed to get the fans on side, while the latter famously clashed with a number of his first-team players. In each case, there were signs that their methods, built up over decades in management, had gone stale in the modern era. Mourinho's demise mirrored that of his spells with Chelsea and Real Madrid. At 45, Solskjaer is seen as a new-age coach who can reunite a divided dressing room through a softer approach than perhaps his predecessor employed. His former international teammate and ex-Everton goalkeeper Thomas Muir likened his management style to that of Carlo Ancelotti, a man who was so relaxed at Bayern Munich that Arjen Robben took it upon himself to run extra training sessions for his teammates. Speaking on Sky Sports News on Wednesday, Muir said, "He'll have his words in the changing room. He likes to model himself on Carlo Ancelotti, being calm, sensible and doing the right things in the game. It doesn't often happen that it's harsh words like Sir Alex Ferguson used to do before sometimes to get a reaction. He will do that in a different manner." Woodward will no doubt be hoping that Solskjaer can also get the best out of Paul Pogba following the mercurial Frenchman's much-publicized fallout with Mourinho. Pogba has started United's last 3 Premier League fixtures on the bench, a status not exactly befitting a club record signing and one-time most expensive footballer on the planet. In August, amid ongoing speculation about Pogba's future, Solskjaer admitted he would make him a central figure if he was his manager, saying, "I would build the team around him, absolutely no doubt. Paul is a fantastic kid, so hopefully, we can build the team around him and keep him." In the wake of Mourinho's sacking, it quickly became apparent that the next coach would have ties to the club, with Michael Carrick, former player and current assistant, Laurent Blanc, former player, and Carlos Queiroz, former assistant, all emerging as favorites for the job at different times on Tuesday morning. Solskjaer's legacy at United obviously made him a standout candidate, and Woodward will be hoping that the appointment of such a popular former player will galvanize the club on and off the pitch, much in the manner as Roberto Di Matteo achieved during his spell with Chelsea in 2012. Finally, by appointing Solskjaer on a 6-month basis, Woodward is giving himself time to find the right man long-term, be that Solskjaer himself or an external candidate. Early reports suggest that Spurs boss Mauricio Pochettino is United's first choice, but with no prospect of luring the Argentine away mid-season, a caretaker appointment was the most sensible approach. What is his coaching philosophy and what system are United likely to employ? A big criticism leveled at Mourinho during his 2.5 years at Old Trafford was in regards to his style of play. That was always the biggest question mark surrounding Mourinho's arrival in the first place, as despite his vast success as a manager in 4 different countries, his teams have never been favorably judged on their aesthetics. They were respected, rather than loved. Given the tradition and history of the club, supporters have certain expectations of whoever is in charge, notably to play attractive, attacking football and to ensure that the pathway between academy and first team remains strong. As someone with a deep affection for United and for whom Ferguson is a mentor, Solskjaer will look to adhere to those traditions as best he can. Solskjaer speaks glowingly about the impact that Ferguson had on his career, and Muir expects his former teammate to build an offensive side in the Scots image, saying, "With Molde, he liked to play offensive football, he likes to create a lot of attacks, and last season they were by far the top scoring side in Norway." Speaking about Molde's system, Muir said, "They want them forward all the time to put crosses into the box. The wingers will come inside and the full-backs will come up and provide opportunities. It's all about speed and a lot of movement in front of the ball to create those opportunities." How could Manchester United line up under Solskjaer? Will he be a success? The million-dollar question. Unquestionably the biggest question mark that hangs over him is whether or not he has learned sufficiently from his 4 years out of English football following that chastening experience at Cardiff. When Solskjaer was appointed by the Bluebirds in January 2014, they were 16th in the Premier League, but by the time he had departed 9 months later, they were languishing in 17th place in the Championship after finishing rock bottom in the top flight. Speaking about why his move to Cardiff didn't work out, Solskjaer said, "I learned a lot in Cardiff and I wouldn't want to be without that time. I've reflected a lot on what happened and I realize I maybe wasn't as good and mature a manager at the time as I thought I was. It was a difficult job for a rookie manager and Solskjaer certainly made mistakes, notably trying to transform a physical side into a possession-based one and signing 3 Norwegian players during the transfer window, all of whom were either unready or unsuited to the Premier League at that time. that his only senior manager spell since Cardiff was back at Molde, a comfortable job in a stable environment, makes it difficult to gauge how much he has learned and evolved from the last time he managed in the Premier League. Nevertheless, while there are legitimate questions over Solskjaer's credentials, his arrival should at the very least provide a boost to a club that has been shrouded in negativity since the start of the season. He is, in that sense, the anti-Mourinho, a man who undoubtedly wants to be there and will do all in his power to restore United's traditions during his time in charge. He should also benefit from the lowering of expectations at United following a dreadful first half of the season. United are 11 points adrift of fourth-placed Chelsea in the Premier League and face a free-scoring PSG side in the last 16 of the Champions League, highlighting the scale of Solskjaer's task. If he is able to navigate United back into the top four and add another trophy to his collection, Solskjaer will give Woodward a decision to make. It is a win-win for the man dubbed the baby-faced assassin during his playing days, and it could just be a win-win for the club too. Will Ole Gunnar Solskjaer return to Molde after Manchester United interim manager spell? Jamie Carragher demands Manchester United kick toxic Paul Pogba out of Old Trafford. David Beckham sends message to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer after Man United announcement. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sends class message to Molde after taking Man United job.